The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
I have some unfortunate news that I have to share at the top of the show, so there'll be no intro. But beloved caller, friend of the show, Keith Best, unfortunately, passed away due to cancer over the last couple of days. I've been waiting to confirm it before saying anything with the Asmaniac audience, but now that it is official, I wanted everyone to know Keith is no longer with us. Obviously, he meant a ton to the show. We loved his calls. He would always call in, oftentimes in between chemo treatments. So we had to start off the show by talking about Keith and obviously sending our prayers and thoughts to his friends and family. And Keith always talked about on the show all the kids who were impacted by cancer. So I thought it'd be awesome if you have the means to do so, you could donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They specialize in research for kids undergoing cancer, and you could donate in Keith's name. I know I certainly will be. So RIP to Keith Best, and make sure you guys use that Keith Best emoji now and, of course, all week, all year, all decade long, forever on this show. Rest in peace, Keith Best.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.
F cancer, man. Shout out to Keith Best. Obviously, tough to do a show under these circumstances, but Keith would want the show to go on. He'd always would be laughing, and he'd want to talk about the Jets as an escape from all the nonsense that we deal with in our real lives. So joining us right now in his weekly spot is our good friend Andrew Fialkow of JetsXFactor.com. Andrew, as always, appreciate you hopping on, my man.
Yeah, of course. Really nice tribute. Obviously, I was on a few times with Keith. Always a bright spot caller. And I don't even like making it. It's not to make it about me, but I actually lost my dad to cancer 6 years ago. So strong ties to this feeling of losing someone to cancer. So anyone that's going through anything out there, everyone, this is a very strong community. So a lot of love to go around. And like you said, I think Keith would want us to persevere and go forward. So best wishes to him and his family and everyone in the chat that's grieving.
And condolences to you too, Andrew. That's you know, appreciate you sharing that. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
of course. And look, it's fitting that we're having you on with the news of Keith, of course, because he was always the optimist. So I'm sure Keith loved watching this Jet win over the Jaguars on Sunday, no matter what the Jet record is. So we got a lot to get into. We'll break down the film. And once again, if you're tuning in late, please consider donating to St. Jude's or any hospital of your choice that specializes in children's cancer research, because that's certainly something that meant a lot to Keith Best. All right, Andrew, we'll talk about the film. Before we get into it, though, does it amaze you that it took this one great game from Aaron Rodgers after he played well last week? We covered it, but a really good game on Sunday in a win. Does it surprise you seemingly how many Jet fans now are on the you got to bring Aaron Rodgers back next year?
No, it's not surprising. This the NFL, as Aaron Rodgers says it, is a week-to-week league. So there'll be overreactions, underreactions every week. Did he play well? Yeah, he had a good game. Was it against the 32nd ranked defense in DVOA and in a lot of different statistical categories in the NFL? Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's hard to understand what this really means, but for Jet fans that were yearning for a win, and I could understand it. It's cool to get a win in a game that felt like after they let Brees score, I was like, this is just a classic. Somehow Mac Jones will drive down and get a touchdown, but he just threw Sauce pick and we won, which is shocking that we won a game. But look, I don't know. Sorry, what did you say?
Shocking is right. I mean, they won a game, but it's just, oh man, and the way they won too, because that if it was maybe any other quarterback besides Mac Jones, the decision by Ulbrich to score as quickly as he did will come back to hurt the Jets.
Yeah.
You just know that any other quarterback would have went right down the field, would have scored a touchdown, probably went for 2, and that's how the Jets would have lost. And it'd be yet another game that they'd lose where people would somehow blame Aaron Rodgers at the end of the year when they look at the record, and it's like, well, no, you can't put that on him. But, I guess I will ask for your thoughts on that. We know Ulbrich's not going to be here next year, all that, but you're a coach at heart, Andrew. What did you make in real time of Ulbrich's decision to hand the ball off to Brees? Because he said afterwards he wanted to put the nail in the coffin. Well, he did the opposite. He opened the coffin. He gave Jacksonville a chance.
It's just a shocking move that makes no sense. Giving the team, I think the ultimatum is up 7 with 1 minute left and 2 timeouts for the Jags, or up 3 and 15 to 18 seconds with no timeouts for the Jags. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Unless they get 40 yards on the first play, go out of bounds, or sprint down and spike the ball, that's the only chance they have unless they get a Hail Mary. It's a no-brainer. It's basically malpractice on the coaching side. And I mean, look, it's a staff that was under Saleh. Like, it's not like they have no experience with these game stuff. Like, I know they must have some analyst giving him these ideas and what to do. So it's pretty shocking that he chose to do that. But I don't know. It's another reason why he'll be gone next year.
That's unreal. I mean, even if they just, kneeled it twice, then scored, so you burnt the timeouts for the Jaguar. Like, just anything other than just score and give them 2 timeouts and a full minute and change to go do something. Like, that was the only thing you could have done to give them a chance.
You've seen teams do the fake kneel and they'll walk back, and while the O-line blocks to waste time. We could have probably given them the ball back with 10 seconds left. We were at the 2-yard line. We could lose 8 yards and take a 26-yard field goal. That's no problem. There's just a lot of different ways to do it, and it felt like, last year when it was last year, right, when the Eagles let Brees score, but that was a tie game. I mean, no, they had no timeouts in that game. There was 40 seconds left. I still thought that was stupid, but alas, we won that game. We won this game too. It's just, I guess it adds up, because with the Saleh regime, they did it now twice.
It feels like the Jets are just never as prepared as they need to be to be a serious team. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. It includes access to the Discord. For those joining us late, I first shared the news of Keith Best passing with the Discord crew. We're planning something special for Keith, so there'll be some info there for everyone on Discord as soon as we have it. Thank you to John LG, who's one of our big-time listeners who's assisting in that regard. All right, Andrew, we'll get to the film breakdown right now, and we're going to focus on Aaron Rodgers, because the question has to be asked. Is it fool's gold, or is he finally healthy and feeling good off the Achilles, and he's now going to play like a guy that a lot of us thought he'd be capable of playing like this year? So whenever you're ready, we'll go full screen, and we'll have you kind of break down 6 plays on your end from this previous game Sunday against Jacksonville. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new around here, Andrew's as good as it gets with the film breakdown. So whenever you're ready, Andrew.
You want me to? I'm just gonna stop it quickly and make my mouse bigger.
Yes, we need a big clicker.
Yeah.
Speak softly and carry a big clicker. That's what they say on this channel.
Like that. Alrighty.
And also, if anyone has any questions for Andrew along the way, the best way to get it read in real time will be to super chat it in. So now, Andrew, we all can see your screen. Take it away.
Alrighty. So this was first quarter, because I think a couple of people on Twitter were asking me, they were like, what happened with Garrett in the second half? He didn't get, I think he only had 2 targets. And they were like, did the Jags change up anything? I was like, no, they didn't. It was really just Rodgers getting to Devontae on most of the reads. And this game really felt like what we thought the team would be like, in the sense, for me, of a lot of the plays that were ran were like Rodgers getting into them pre-snap, dummy counting, and then seeing the coverage of the defense and getting into the right play. So it felt like a classic Rodgers game. Honestly, for him, it had to feel really good out there. I thought he was moving well. I know he was 16 for 30. I think he could have had a better game. I don't think it was as good as everyone thinks it was, especially against this defense. But nonetheless, it was a very, very effective quarterbacking game. So this first play, again, I find myself consistently impressed with Todd Downing, but I don't know, Jake. I don't know if it's just because I've had to watch so much Nathaniel Hackett film that my mind is just in a really dark place with offensive coordinators, that Downing is like the craziest breath of fresh air. But I don't know, man. And Downing has been legitimately decent. I sent Jake, I sent you the EPA per play stat of the Jets post Hackett. It's a massive difference for what it's worth. So obviously we knew Hackett was a bit of an issue, but still Rodgers' offense to some extent. So what you have here, motion at the snap from Lazard.
We lost your screen, Andrew. I don't know if you clicked something by mistake, but we can't see anything.
Alrighty.
All right. And now we can see it. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So you have your condensed formation. Right now it's 3-by-1, so 3 receivers to 1 for Garrett's side. You get Lazard in motion. I just call this like a flood variation. You're going to get Lazard on the deep flag route, so it's a deep corner. Garrett on a shorter corner, and then I think Braylon's going to go to the flat. Oh, no, Yeboah is going to come in like split zone motion and go to the flat. So play action, get Rodgers off his spot a little. Again, I'm going to highlight Olu a little bit here just because it's very easy to highlight. He had a hell of a game. Really, really, really encouraging game against a decent pass rusher, I think, in Josh Hines-Allen. So that was cool. So, yeah, flood concept where Lazard's pretty much a clear out. You have Garrett on a little sail, so a little corner out. Again, I just love Garrett against press coverage here. Just watch him here. Close the space, his normal 1-2 rocker move, and then the swim like I showed last week if anyone was watching. Swim to get his hand away, and he beats whoever number 3 is right off the snap. Solid timing. Ball's coming out right now. Rodgers knows he has this little area to throw it. Again, Lazard on the clear out. Easy pitch and catch. That's Tyson Campbell. So he's actually a pretty good corner, but as good of executing a plays we've had, I feel like this is just very, very clean. Again, play action. You could see the linebackers here all get influenced by Yeboah going in split zone motion. So it's like he's going to crack the end, but they all saw Olu. Olu would be blocking down here if it was a run play. So these linebackers, not the best probably for Jacksonville. Both of them get sucked in. Rodgers gets to roll out. Tons of room. Obviously, this is what happens when you have play action plays where the whole line blocks down. It's nice to get Rodgers moving out of the pocket, off platform, and perfect ball to Garrett. A little behind him. I don't mind it. Nice hands catch from Garrett. Gets upfield for a couple more yards. But again, what I really liked, the play call, Garrett against man coverage. It's consistent winning from him the past few weeks. I know you didn't have a huge game, but just another good rep between these two. And I almost hate watching it because it makes me think like, damn, I really felt like this was going to be the whole year. But nonetheless, a good rep for the offense to see and for the fans to see.
Would that be considered the slot where Garrett's lining up out of?
So does Lazard clear him? Yes. Right now right now it's technically the outside to the boundary because he's the only receiver there. But once Lazard clears him, that's a slot. Yep.
That's a slot. Yeah. Because I think one complaint we've had is they don't use Garrett enough in the slot this year. And I think do you have the touchdown? I think he was in the slot on the touchdown.
I don't because I could pull it up if anyone wants to see it. It was just a blown coverage. So
I was wide open. Yeah.
Yeah. The Jags were blowing coverages all game, by the way. The last Devontae play on like this little mesh concept, someone on Twitter asked me about that too. And they literally just let him run free. So as much as I was watching the film, I was like, I really want to be happy for them. Like, this is a really good execution play right here. The Jags were all over the place poorly. So got to take it for what it is. So this play was 3rd and 4. This play was so long. I had to actually – this is Rodgers – right now what Rodgers is doing, it's his second audible. The play was literally 30 seconds long because Rodgers audibled 2 times. So first audible, he canned it. Now he's dummy counting again. I think he sees these 2 linebackers coming. First off, just Jaguars wise, this is as clear of man coverage as you're ever going to get in the NFL. Man. They're not disguising it one bit with one deep safety. It's like you're playing Madden and you see every guy pressed up. It's as clear as day. So maybe you get a cross dog blitz from the linebackers, maybe not. That's what Rodgers might be thinking right now. I don't know if he keeps 32 Davis in the block. I feel like he might. Yep. So he's going to keep Yeboah in and Davis in the block because I think he thought right away at the snap. You could see these two guys on his first dummy count. His first dummy count right here, they both approached forward. But anywho, they don't blitz. He gets Devontae on a perfect slant route over the middle. So right here, Devontae's on a slant. Garrett's on a slot fade. So those are two man-beating routes. Those are two runaways, nothing static. And lucky enough, these two backers, they don't blitz, but they put themselves in no man's land. And Rodgers hits the top of his drop, boom, balls out, Devontae wide open. I could go back to see what Devontae did there quickly. Again, that's Tyson Campbell in the slot. Devontae stacks him. A little 1-2, very similar to Garrett's little rocker step release move. Devontae's release package is out of control. Super sudden. The safety, again, I really feel like Rodgers honestly just made this play like Madden, like calling hot routes. He's changing all the routes right here. So the slot fade, if you watch the safety, he sees the slot fade. And he's like, okay, shoot, I have to go get over there because Garrett's really good. Well, this is what we thought all year. If Garrett goes and we got one-on-one, Devontae's wide open on the middle of the field on a slant. And damn what good job he did after the catch yesterday, too. Almost got in the end zone here. Easy win. I'll just run it back one more time. But this is, again, all Rodgers here. Pre-snap, IDing the coverage, which was not hard to see. Getting two man beaters for himself, whether Garrett won here or Devontae. Devontae wins. Rodgers, great timing. You could see when you see a quarterback hit the top of his dropping at the ball. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cleats in the dirt, ball out. It's usually a good sign from the broadcast view. And Devontae did his thing after the catch for a huge gain.
Great pocket, too. I know Rodgers went out of his way many times to talk about how good the O-line was in pass protection. He did it again today on McAfee.
Yep. So you get Yeboah kind of checking and releasing on the edge. Good double team from the Tippmann and AVT. But it's a good pocket. A lot of the time he's getting the ball out pretty quick. Like this is hit the top of your drop, ball out. Top of the drop, ball out. So that's going to be helpful for the O-line too. But they did a damn good job on Sunday, man. Like really, really good. That's something that Jet fans really have something to be excited about, especially Olu. Olu, I was reading a lot of stats about him today, but man, he's been extremely, extremely encouraging as a pass blocker, and obviously in the run game he's pretty good. But cornerstone position in the NFL, tackle, that's a really, really important position. So I'm still for the pick for all the Bowers people out there. I know how good he is, but I'm still for the Olu pick. Yeah,
especially because this draft class is not as good at tackle, and
right,
you have your O-line intact for whoever the next coaching staff is. So I'm right there with you. Reminder, we're doing giveaways all month long. Our next giveaway prize features the Jet surfboard, Cowabunga dude. Also, the Joe Namath Super Bowl III photo. For every membership gifted, you get a raffle ticket with your name on it. We'll enter it in the bucket here, and we'll pick a lucky winner once we hit 100 members. So we need about 50 for our next raffle giveaway. Appreciate everyone who supports the show all month long. We'll do giveaways for the season of giving. All right, Andrew, next play here. Go ahead.
I'm just catching up with a little bit of the chat. I knew see, this is funny, Jake. There's like such a difference of Jet fans. Like half of the people on Twitter that I was posting the film were like commenting and saying, oh my God, like we need to bring Rodgers back. Like the spectrum is crazy. It's like, oh my God, we need to bring Rodgers back. And it's, oh my God, why are you celebrating this performance against the worst defense in the NFL? One, my job is nothing to do but be as unbiased of a fan. I'm a huge fan of the Jets. I'm an unbiased film analyst. That's my job. So the people that were doing that, I don't know. But like we can't be on both sides of the spectrum. Also, obviously the Jets are 3-10, but you got to be a little bit happy for some of the players. Like even if you hate the team, you got to like some players. So you can be as negative. You can make it negative, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look. Don't ignore the Debbie Downers on everything. You know, it's
right.
You can never win with those people. I've said it all week. Tell me who the Jets are tanking for. You don't even know. You know,
No.
last year they couldn't beat New England the last game of the year because it would cost them either Alt or Olu Fashanu. Well, they had Fashanu at 10 and traded back a spot and still got him and got extra picks. So you just never know, man. A good GM can find good players in the top 10 no matter what, and that's the job of whoever's coming in.
Completely agree. And I haven't watched film, but to my naked eye, I don't think there's anyone worth tanking for this year. So it feels very reminiscent of like the Kenny Pickett draft class of 2021 or 2022. I forget. But that was a really bad QB class. I don't know. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yep, 100%. All right, here we go. Next play in the film review.
Yeah, there's not a ton to this. It's just going to be the fade to Devontae. I mean, they were really force feeding him on Sunday, and he was cooking the whole day. So this is a run play, all the way. If you have a one-on-one, then you throw the fade. That's all it is. It's pitch and catch. It's a really, really low percentage play. Like a fade at the goal line, you'd much rather take your chances at a couple bodies falling forward and getting a yard with the run game. So again, if I don't like a fade call. I think it was first and goal or second and goal. So it is what it is. But Rodgers two-step drop, ball out. It's just placing in a bucket here for Devontae. Strong hands at the catch point, late hands, toe tap, done. And I mean, again, if I was rooting for another team and they're at the 1 yard line and they're running a fade, I'm like, dog, what are we doing? Like, there's a lot worse things that could happen with a fade. Like, I don't know, a batted ball interception, something weird could happen. Obviously, you could get PI, but like, this is a low probability play when instead you could just run the ball to Braylon Allen and get 6 inches. So more power to Rodgers, because I'm telling you guys, this is an RPO. So this is fully a run called, because how do I know? Everybody on the line is down blocking. Down block, down block, down block. They're all pushing like, oh, Braylon's going to get the ball. And he would have walked in here probably. They leave the edge on block. That's perfect for inside zone at the 1 yard line. But just perfect ball. It was a great, again, I feel like Garrett learned this release from Devontae already. This little rocker release, 2-step rocker release, and then just an absolute dot from Rodgers. And a nice score. I'm happy watching this film back. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's high-level play, man. I mean,
really high level.
That's good coverage by the Jaguar defender there. So it's a better throw and catch.
I mean, it's as good of coverage. His hand is already in the cookie jar, meaning between Devontae's two hands, which is fine because I'm slowing it down. They're never calling this pass interference. And Devontae just has late hands. Again, his body control and awareness of where he is at all times, I'll get to that later, is outstanding. But, yep, toe tap, touchdown. I don't know who that corner is, Brown, but just really good stuff.
This was all for getting Devontae touchdown 100. I think if the game mattered more, they probably would have ran Braylon Allen there, maybe. I don't know. But I think because Devontae came so close to scoring on the previous play and then they took it away after the review, Rodgers is like, I'm going right back to Devontae there, which is why he called for that.
Okay. I kind of forgot about that. That makes sense.
If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. We're doing giveaways all month long, as you heard me talk about. And I just gifted 5 channel memberships. Now, I'm not entering my own raffle, but here's what I'm going to do. For every membership I personally gift this month, it will go to an Asmaniac, and your name will go on a raffle ticket. For example, Dean, you're getting entered in the contest. War Dog, you're entered. White America, you're entered. Dan Hills, you're entered. The King Does, you're entered. So that's 5 memberships gifted, which means 5 listeners just got raffle tickets in the bucket of champions for our next giveaway. So thank you to everyone who continues to support the show. A couple of super chats here, then we'll get to the next play. Boneless Beans, can you sum up why the first half was so awful?
Man, I watched this yesterday morning over again.
Well, I think offensively, they didn't have the ball a lot, right? They had the ball for 3 possessions. They scored a touchdown on one of them and kicked a field goal on the other. Is that right?
I was going to say, it felt like when I was watching the All-22 back, I was in the third quarter within like 12 dropbacks from Rodgers. So I could look that back, but it felt like they didn't have the ball at all.
Yeah, because Mac Jones had these long drives because the defense stunk and they couldn't get off the field. They were allowing screen passes at will to kill them.
Yeah, the Jets had 3 drives in the first half. 3.
And one of them got basically blown dead on a phantom, false start call on Tippmann, which wasn't.
Correct. And by the way, when I was watching the film, I was just watching the offense yesterday. The Jets had the ball with 13:55 left in the second quarter, And then they didn't touch the ball again until 2:41 left in the second quarter. I was like, there's something must have happened. And nothing happened. The Jags went on an 18-play, 77-yard, 11-minute drive. So I was like, what the hell is going on? But yeah.
Man. All right. That makes sense. Boneless beans, then super chatted again. Boneless beans. So boneless beans, thank you for letting us know that your name is boneless beans. We appreciate it. All right, next play, Andrew. Go ahead.
All righty. So I've actually seen the Jets run this play a bunch of times at this point. I feel like I have a solid idea of their playbook. So what you're going to get is it's 3rd and 6. Again, pre-snap, they're showing middle field closed. So that means the safety is in the middle of the field. Post-snap, he's going to go get Garrett. They're just going to go bracket Garrett. And the Jets are running hitch seam. Honestly, I've seen it in Madden before, but it seams on the inside and hitches on the outside. It's a two-way go on the outside. If the guy is pressing, you could sight adjust it and try and run past him. But Rodgers, post-snap, sees – oh, here we go. Sorry. So what happens here is he thinks a blitz might be coming. What happens is 5 is going to end up carrying Lazard like in man. 22 goes to bracket Garrett. You got this safety coming over to bracket Devontae, or really just get over Rucker. It's like a little two-man, cover two-man. And Rodgers throws a good ball, in my opinion. Now, again, people on Twitter were telling me, asking why didn't he throw it to the end zone? I don't really know. Like right here, you have a lot of green grass. It does feel a little bit underthrown, but like, I don't know, man. Lazard is running. I don't feel like Lazard fully stops at any point. Like, yeah, I would ideally like him to like loft this ball up and over, but he still hits him in the chest, and it's what Lazard's been doing all damn year, man. So I know the Lazard Renaissance was a thing, but he still dropped more passes than you could ever imagine. And
yeah,
why he dropped it here is because you need to catch the ball with your hand, dude. Like, you learn this in freaking high school. You catch the ball with your hands, hits you in the chest, they're going to punch it out or just going to bang off your chest, and you're going to drop it like you always do. So, like right here, I could see the argument for like, hey, there's a ton of space out here. Just lob it up. This could be a touchdown. This ball hits him at the 10. I could see the argument. Hits him at the 8. Either way, maybe it's a good play by 5. Again, with the all-22, it's not so zoomed in where we could see, but it looked like kind of a drop to me. Like, this is in your hands. I see Cisco punch at it. Maybe it's a good play, but look, a lot good receivers make this catch. So, again, a little weird play for me to fully analyze because I don't know if this is what they coach for him to like hit him on a line here. And I don't really like questioning what Rodgers does. So I don't know. I originally thought it was a good pass. And then people were like, wait, why didn't he lead him to like to the end zone? Like people were saying he should have been at the A in the Jaguars. I don't know.
Here's why I'm not giving Lazard a pass, because the Jets lead the NFL in drops. I didn't even know it was that bad until they said it during the broadcast on Sunday. So Lazard doesn't get a pass here. You're paid $12 million a year to be a number 2 receiver in the league. Catch the ball. And it's why, by the way, and I'll get your thoughts on this too, Andrew, whether Aaron's here or not, they should try and bring back Devontae, because next year you have Garrett Wilson and then nothing else on your depth chart. That's it. Yeah.
No, they have to try and bring back Devontae. I don't think he's going to come back if Rodgers isn't here. But, again, I have to look into his contract. I know that there's some we can get out of it for $8 million. Is he like guaranteed money to us next year or no?
No. So none of his money's guaranteed. He's never going to play on his current deal. You're going to pay.
Right.
He'd be a $35 million cap hit next year, which would be the highest non-quarterback cap hit in the league. So he's never seeing that contract for next year. But the original thought when they acquired him was he was going to redo his deal in the offseason to stay with the Jets to play with Rodgers. But now everything is up in the air because when they acquired Devontae, Joe Douglas was here. They were going to go on a run, all that. And now who knows? But I'm telling you, whoever the GM is should look at the other options out there in free agency, because I did, and it's terrible, and recognize that if there's a way to keep Devontae, even if you move on from Aaron, you should try and do it.
Yeah. Well, just perfect timing, because these last 2 plays were my 2 favorite plays of the game, and they happened to be at the end. So what you're going to get here, this was the long Devontae touchdown. I'll just play the sideline angle first, and then I'll break down how this happened. But really just a beautiful concept from Downing, beautiful execution from Rodgers, identifying the coverage on the play, and great job by Davante. For everyone, I remember reading how slow everyone's like, oh, he's running his routes at a low miles per hour on Twitter. Okay, well, you could still beat 3 guys down the field. He caught this ball at the freaking 32-yard line and beat 2 linebacker and a corner and a safety into the end zone. So I don't know about all that, but what you have here is it's like, I feel like I don't know if you remember, Jake, but I think you might. Like, the Jets have ran this play before where they hit Brees on this little wheel route. It was actually against the Bills on Monday Night Football. It's literally like a 4 verticals variation where Isaiah Davis is going to come in motion and run a vertical. Davante runs the seam. Garrett's going to run a vertical, and then Braylon runs the wheel. So I'll just quickly show. Davis actually goes to the flat here. Sorry, Yeboah is going to run the wheel along with Braylon Allen. So they're both running the wheel. I don't really know how Rodgers knows it's going to be Tampa 2, but it's Tampa 2. So that means 4 under, 3 deep zone essentially it's essentially a 2 deep zone with the linebacker in responsibility for the middle half, so the middle third. But in that zone, Rodgers knows that linebacker is usually with his back to the ball. Right here, he turns his back, and Rodgers knows it's over. Because these safeties are widening out. He is this half of the field. He is this half of the field. And it's a good concept because these linebackers are getting depth, but these are 2 more vertical routes. This guy is going to poach Garrett's vertical route because he's sitting, he's squatting, he's crow flat. It's a great concept from Downing. And this is why my favorite thing about quarterback play, coming back and watching this, Rodgers is going to release the ball right here. That ball is being released. And Davante is 2 yards behind the linebacker. It's as good of an anticipation throw as I've seen in the NFL this entire season. I want you guys to understand how crazy it is because, he's going to throw the ball. He pats it right here. He's going to throw it, even releasing it right now. And he's step for step with 6 now eyeing in on this. And Rodgers knowing he has to throw it to this perfect spot. That's the best throw Rodgers has had the entire season. Easily. Anticipation-wise, touch-wise, accuracy-wise, absolutely outstanding quarterback play. Just identifying the coverage post-snap, having Davante on this seam route and hitting it perfectly. Right away, when Rodgers sees 33's back turned, boom, he's going to release it. Oh, no, I lost it. Hang on. 33's back turns. He knows it's Tampa 2, meaning he's going to have to run the pool to in the middle of the field. Boom, ball out. And it's placed absolutely beautifully. As nice of a layered ball as you're going to see in the NFL. I really like this. This is, for me, the play of the year from Rodgers, easily, from watching all his film. Concept is beautiful. Also, he's releasing it right now, guys. That's an outstanding throw. You can't even see where the ball is going to land at this point. And he's releasing it right now. That's so much trust. Davante's back is to him. The linebacker's back is to him. The only person that's looking at Rodgers throwing the ball right now that should have the best chance at it is 6. But no, Rodgers puts it perfectly in between them. I could watch that play forever. If you love football, that's as good of a rep from a quarterback as you will ever see. So just bask in it.
I mean, it's one of those throws where it's if you're arguing to bring him back, it's plays like that you bring him back because he's still able to make those throws. He's still able to do this. What Jet quarterback since 2015 Fitzpatrick, and even then, I don't know if Fitz can make this throw, could do that. As you point out, Olu dominating his one-on-one here. Yeah,
I mean, look at this pocket, first of all. I don't remember the last time Rodgers could crow hop essentially into pressure. Everyone's doing fine. He's hitching up twice into pressure to get enough on the ball. This is a great job of the entire line here. Entire line. Tippmann has a one-on-one. I don't know why AVT is so upfield, but AVT should come help Tip probably right now. Doesn't. Fine. I mean, you're not going to get a better rep from your 2 tackles. I could fit 2 people in between Rodgers and Olu, and Moses is doing a great job on Trayvon Walker. These are 2 really good pass rushers, I thought. I haven't watched the Jags all year.
Well, that's the thing, right? We know the Jags secondary stinks, but they do have 2 good rushers. So it's it's good to see the O-line do this in pass protection.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You know what they did here? Oh, this is really, really creative. Wow. I always find out something new when I rewatch the film on your show. They actually pulled Simpson. I was saying Moses made that block. They pulled Simpson all the way around to go get Trayvon Walker. That's really creative. I don't know what that's telling the defense, but if you could see right here, Simpson's a guard. He's pulling like it's a run play. There's no run fake. And he goes and picks up Trayvon Walker. Kudos to you, Downing. This is really, really creative stuff. This is the best play call and execution I've seen the whole year, man. Easily.
It just took till the Jets were 3-10 to break it out.
I mean, yeah, there's so many people that like deserve a game ball for this one play, like Olu, Simpson, Rodgers, Devontae. This is what it takes in the NFL, though, man. Everyone's got to be on point every single play. There's so many intricacies to the game that sometimes you have this. And hell of a job by Devontae to get in the end zone here. Just to harp on that. That's a really good job, man.
Great yak right there. Great yak. Before you get to the next play, which you said was your second favorite play all year you did on film, shout out to the Peter Castro for coming through with a 10 spot of channel memberships.
We got to get rid of Yolbrick and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flo Knees. And maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
Maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer. These are from Peter. Here we go. If you hear your name called, you thank the Peter Castro, who will eventually get his own channel emoji once we get enough memberships to add it. Tristan Oliver Photography, J Dubs, Red John, Celso Porto, Luis C, T Rivera, Jet Set Full, Cheats Fan, A Fungus Mungus, Aaron Daniels. Congrats to the 10 people who just got memberships, baby. Boom. Love that. Peter, thank you as always. That's 10 raffle tickets in Peter's name. I know Peter's gunning for that Super Bowl 3 photo, so that's going to be the next giveaway once we get another 40 memberships or so. Also, this from Peter, I laugh. Why didn't Rodgers take a knee at the end of the game? Supposed to be a genius. More BS. Well, Aaron said after the game that if they weren't 3-10, they probably would have kneed it and kicked it, but he wanted to get over 30 because he's talked about 30 being the number they needed to score all year. But Obrick's answer makes it look even worse because Obrick tried to say, no, it was part of the strategy and why we did it. And Aaron's like, yeah, we did the wrong thing. I just knew it didn't matter because we're 3-10. I wanted to give the defense a chance to make a stop. He's like, Sauce got his pick out of it. Brees got to score a touchdown. Like, the whole ending of the game just screams incompetence. But it all starts with the head coach not knowing what he's doing.
Rodgers said after the game that he didn't want to knee it?
He said he would have needed it if they weren't 3-10.
Okay. I did not know that. That's I don't know.
That's not what Obrick said. They said different things because Rodgers probably was trying to defend Obrick, but Obrick basically exposed himself for not knowing the situation.
Yeah, that's also was Rodgers just saying that after Obrick? That's a very odd comment to make, in my opinion, because the record of if they want to win the game, then they should have needed it. So I don't know, man, but I'm going to, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Go back and listen to it. You'll see it.
Yeah, I will.
Anyway, yeah. All right, here we go. Is this the last play?
Yeah, it's the last play.
Here we go.
So the play like after this was the little mesh route they ran where the Jags just didn't pass it off well and Devontae almost scored. But this play is probably the second best play the Jets have put on film all year. Again, Rodgers playing Madden at the line, sees its press man. Again, he's going to throw the fade to Devontae here. When I see 5 over the top like this, I would think, it might not be the best call. But thank you, Jaguars, for buzzing 5 down. He's going to be like the little rat player over the middle and get any crosser. But if he did any film study, the Jets are in love with fade routes. So I don't remember. I think this was second down. Again, Rodgers releasing the ball right here. This is just, again, I'm just telling you, like, he hasn't really thrown a lot of anticipatory balls to Garrett like this. Him and Devontae just have a very, very unique connection where this ball is coming out, probably a 3-step drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fine. And he's literally fading away. Like, his mechanics are always crap, but like he loves doing, fading away and throwing the ball right here. This is great coverage. You throw this ball right now, you're thinking probably not going to be a catch. I think this is one of the best catches I've seen the entire season. Like, I cannot believe how well Adams tracked this ball, catching it over his outside shoulder and then having the awareness simultaneously to tap his feet. I actually saw it and was like, I don't know if that was a catch. They actually did a good job running up to the line to get it. So Rodgers probably wants this ball like out here a bit because look, Tyson Campbell's looking back. He has no idea the ball is coming. Devontae sees it's over his outside shoulder, catches it over his head, and then he's like, "Oh shoot, I'm right next to the sideline." Looks down almost and toe taps both feet in. Now again, I think it's a catch. I think it's a catch. Drags his back foot. Like, look, first off, I wonder who these guys are. The reaction on the sidelines were unreal. Max Mitchell, great reaction. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. This dude, unreal, can't believe that happened. Catch. I love the sideline reactions on the all 22 are always great. We don't usually get these because we don't make plays like this, but outstanding, man. Like, this is essentially a one-handed catch. He touched the ball first with one hand, gets his other hand on it barely. Just the wherewithal to know you're right at the sideline and get that back foot. You could see the grass coming up from the field and get it down. It's one of the best catches I've seen the entire season.
Great breakdown there too. This is why like Devontae needs to be back. He does. Like, tell me where they're finding a better receiving option than him. He's
outrageous. Like, if you love receiver play, and watching him is just an absolute joy. I mean, Rodgers would probably tell you this is not the best ball. Look at him again. Kind of fading. Not fading, really. That's fine. Just to track that ball over the head. And I need a slow-mo because, like, it looks not too difficult in full time. When you slow-mo and you see it's over his outside shoulder, and he just realizes it. He's like, oh, shoot. Like, the hand-eye coordination you need to make this play, get one foot down and tap the other. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. So, after reviewing all that, I'm happy they won.
Hey, there you go.
Good on them. Good on them.
Andrew, just like me, you are a Yankee fan as well. Can I interest you in some Yankee news? You saw it?
I literally just checked my phone. Saw it.
The Yankees have traded for Cody Bellinger, which was a move 6 days ago. I said, that's the guy they should go and get. In fact, I tweeted it.
Very nice.
6 days ago. I trade for Cody Bellinger next if I'm the Yankees. Lefty bat and can play both outfield and first base. That was after the Devin Williams trade they made. So, look, Yankees have had a nice offseason. You wanted to keep Soto, but Bellinger could play first. He could play center. You added Fried, who him and Garrett Cole probably formed one of the best 1-2s, if not the best, in baseball. And Devin Williams is a top 3 closer. So they still need more. Still need more offense, but that's a good move. Bellinger. And the Cubs are eating part of the contract, too. So that's good. Nice. So good move by the Yankees. Good job, Brian Cashman. Way to listen.
There we go.
Anyway, let's see. I got a super chat here from Bo who writes in, Andrew, do you think the consistency we've recently acquired can carry over into L.A., and where does that leave you about AR if it does, Jake? So, Bo, I'll give you my thoughts after Andrew weighs in. Andrew, after watching the film now for 2 straight weeks of Rodgers looking healthy, like he looks like his old self, running around, extending plays. Your thoughts on these last 3 and whether or not you're open to the idea of Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback next year?
I mean, I feel like we're going to have this discussion all offseason, and I'm probably going to have the same answer. And 2 answers. One, what I've seen on film, it's not – I know Jets fans are so dumbed down to the worst quarterback play that Rodgers' quarterback play this year has been better than a quarterback in a long time. I get it. It's not good enough for me. There's a lot of limitations with him. Again, he's been a bit more mobile recently. I'll admit it. But my main thing is, like, we're not retaining the staff. So does Rodgers want to be on board with a new staff? And if the GM sees fit, then I'm going to have to be okay with it. So it's literally what type of offensive scheme are we going to be running? And will Rodgers want to play in that? Does he want to play at all? That's really the bottom line for me.
Let's say he wants to play next year. He'd want to play for the Jets. He'd want to play with Devontae. And he's open to a modern scheme. Are you on board with bringing Aaron back versus whatever other option you want to come up with?
Well, options else I want to come up with, I've been having quite a hard time. So
that's the problem, right? It's more so of like, see, because I think if they had a high enough pick and there was an obvious quarterback, I don't think he's here. I think if they had, a young guy that they were grooming that they thought would maybe play, 2 years from now, I think it's a no-brainer. You're moving on. But you assess the options. I don't know. I don't know what you could really do better. And here's the other thing I'd throw out there. The dead cap ramifications are why a lot of Jet fans are like, you can't do it. And I get it. That's a real thing that the GM is going to have to consider. But I wonder if you go to Aaron and say, look, if you take a pay cut to help us mitigate the future dead cap, we're going to pay Devontae and keep him. So we can keep you guys together if you play ball with us. and you'll be the quarterback next year. Now we're going to probably draft someone behind you, but that guy's not seeing the field if we're in contention and you're playing well. I think if you're straight up with Aaron on that, he'd understand.
Yeah, you got to think Rodgers. It's his if he plays next year, it's his last year.
100%.
I still think there's a chance that he doesn't. I still think there's a chance he retires. But yeah, if you tell him all that, I mean, Jake, it's either 64 or 68 million dead cap. It's
63 if he's 63? On the team next year. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a new GM, I can't imagine who wants to take that on, because like if it all goes wrong and then you're in year 2 and you need to rebuild and you're down $63 million, albeit from one player. It could be other dead cap involved too. It's not really a good spot for a new GM to be in, who wants to probably keep his job secure. So there's a lot of things that go into it. If I don't know, if somehow Rodgers can help that out to not have it be 63 million, it would be great. But it's on the GM to figure that one out.
Look, if he takes a pay cut again, I don't know if he'd be willing to do it, but he might not have a choice if he wants to play next year, Andrew. That's the thing. It's like, who's giving him a starting opportunity if not the Jets, you know? These two sides maybe just kind of need each other for a year.
Yeah, and like, even let's say he wants to play and he's like, okay, I want to play, but I want to go to like a real contender. Like, they all have quarterbacks. They all have quarterbacks. So like, in general, where is he going in the league? Like
Cleveland?
People said Tennessee, like he wants to go 4-13 in his last year, 100%. Like, I guess with the Jets, we have a better infrastructure for sure. So, yeah, I mean, Cleveland, they have Deshaun Watson on the papers still for like the most guaranteed money ever. So I don't really know how that would work, but it does seem like it's Jets or retire. I will say that.
100%. Now, there was a comment here from Yo Holmes, who goes, did Jake not listen to his own Demetrius interview? So it's Thomas Dimitroff, and I appreciate you listening, Yo Holmes. It's every GM's dream to pick their guy at quarterback. Yes, but here's the thing. No matter what GM they bring in, that GM's going to give you an honest evaluation of this quarterback class and say, look, we don't think we have a franchise quarterback that is worth taking with our top 10 pick. Maybe we run it back with Aaron and we take a guy at the end of round 1, like the Ravens did with Lamar, that could develop behind Flacco until it was time for him to play. Or we take someone on day 2 and that guy sits and we take a dart throw there. But every GM wants to pick their own guy at quarterback, but no GM wants to take a quarterback and reach for that guy and then be judged on that guy's performance and then be out of a job if it doesn't work out. And you're thinking, man, why did I reach to try and take my guy when I knew that this was a mistake all along? So GMs want to pick their quarterback, but they don't want to reach for it in the process, Yo Holmes. That's the difference. Yeah,
I completely agree. I don't think this is a draft where we're going to be taking a quarterback at like, we'll probably have the around 8, between 7 and 10. Like, we're not taking Milrow between 7 and 10.
No.
Shador and Cam will be off the board. I say we go best player available, and then again, I don't know what the hell is going to happen at quarterback. If Rodgers retires, it's very well we could be seeing Tyrod play. Maybe we'll take a rookie in the 3rd round and then have him, Travis, and the 3rd rounder play and see how that goes. I also just saw, I was just looking at Twitter. Did you see this? Multiple NFL sources believe that Mike Vrabel is the coaching candidate the Jets covered the most.
Yes, I did see that from Connor Hughes.
Yeah, that's pretty encouraging, I'd say.
I mean, look, they could covet him. Doesn't mean he'd want the job, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, at least it makes it seem like whoever's doing the head coaching search is not Woody Johnson. So that's all. That's all.
Look, here's my thing, too, with the Tyrod idea. How many Jet fans know Tyrod Taylor is going to be 36 next season? I think people look at Tyrod Taylor like he's some like spring chicken. Tyrod Taylor's been in the league a long time, and he's always hurt. So you're playing. You can't tell me your plan next year is Tyrod, Jordan Travis, and then get the rookie in 2026. That's not a plan. That's going 4-13 and having another miserable season, and I'm not dealing with that. And then every player on this team that somehow survives, this latest regime change is then requesting trades. No, I'm trying to win as many games as I can next year with the talent that does exist on this team.
Yeah, I agree. I was against it. If we were going to get a pick that was good enough to take like one of the top 2 guys, then I was like, okay. But we're kind of in the weird rebuilding, not rebuilding, what should we do mode. It does feel like if it's Rodgers or retire. It's Jets or retire for Rodgers. So I don't know. I don't know what offensive coach, like, we're dumbing it down to that, like what OC is going to want to give him full reign, I don't think that will happen. So like how that would work would be really interesting. When's the last time I feel like he's worked with 3 guys offensively his whole career, like legitimately. Like he worked with McCarthy, LaFleur, and Hackett. He never really worked with anyone else. So that's a big if, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But he might not have a choice. So that's what it comes down to. C with a super chat. Was Garrett Wilson doubled all second half, or was DA just cooking dudes?
Yeah, I said that earlier. Someone asked me that on Twitter. No, they tried their best to bracket Garrett a lot, but as I showed you guys a couple clips. Devontae was cooking. Jags were busting coverages left and right. Protection was holding up. That's the small gist I could give.
He was cooking people, baby.
Yeah,
cooking them. Garrett, by the way, pretty close to 1,000 yards again. So 3 games left to do it.
Yeah, I think he'll easily get it, barring injury, obviously. But yeah, that'll be good. I don't want to lose Garrett. I really don't want to lose Garrett, and it feels, I don't know. I just hope we re-sign Garrett immediately. That's my 2 cents.
For those of you who have tickets to Sunday's game and you saw the weather is going to be 25 degrees and you're like, I don't want to go to the game. For the 3rd year in a row, we're doing a ticket donation on this channel. I will do my best, as always, to get the tickets in the hands of Jet fans who could use them, preferably people with a kid they want to take to the game, maybe a veteran. We gave away, I think for the Halloween game, like 40-something tickets, gave a couple away for the Seahawks game, but the weather was actually, decent that day. People wanted to go. So if anyone has extra tickets, a couple of you have already reached out, definitely let me know, and we'll make sure we get them in the hands of some Jet fans who could use them. And if you are going to try and buy tickets, SeatGeek, promo code Jake Asman for $20 off. Free plug. SeatGeek, you're welcome. All right, Andrew, are you ready for some calls here?
Yes, sir.
Comments, questions, super chats. Let's say hello to Raven, who's first up today on the hotline. What's up, Raven?
Oh, wow. You're bringing me in first. I'm honored.
What's up, Raven? Welcome aboard.
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. One thing that I wanted to bring up, especially in the context of what you guys were just talking about, is I saw a very interesting tweet from, I think it was Harrison Glazer, and he put up some stats about Aaron, so I'll read those off. So with this entire season, Aaron's 11th in passing yards, top 7 in passing touchdowns, top 10 in passing first downs, top 7 in 20-plus passing plays. He has the top 3 lowest interceptions among quarterbacks with 20-plus TDs, which shows me that this is still a top 10 guy. And I think it's very interesting with all these stats, because it's clearly not passing the eye test. I guess, Andrew, what are your thoughts on that? Did you see some of that, since you're obviously watching film closer?
I would love to look back to see how much production he's had in quote unquote garbage time, but I don't know. I'm not surprised at those stats. Like there's always stats that are going to tell you that a guy's good, and those are good stats. But just like the overall offense being productive and successful is just not showing up as much. I don't even really look at I couldn't tell you who the leader in passing touchdowns is. I don't really look at that like that, but I don't know.
Jake, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the stats in totality look better than how he's actually played. Like how many of the touchdown passes came when they were inside the 5-yard line. Like the Jets throw in the red zone more than any other team in the league. So I think some of it is a little slanted from that standpoint, which is why I like to use the eye test if we bring Andrew on and he gives us his perspective and all that. But I think statistically, when we look back on this year, he's going to have one of the better seasons a Jet quarterback has had. But that's not the reason why you keep him necessarily, because the bar is so low. If that's the reason, that wouldn't make any sense. So, but I do think Aaron, and as I've talked about it all year, he gets too much blame for why this season has been a nightmare. Has he been great? No. Has he cost him some games with his play? Sure. But he was also supposed to have a top 5 defense, an elite kicking game, and a coaching staff that we didn't think would be this incompetent. And none of that is proven to be true.
I completely agree, which to me speaks to a culture issue. And I personally think that's the main problem with this team as a whole, is that there's no culture, there's no accountability. Like, yeah, it's great that they have all this camaraderie, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean shit if you're not getting results. So, me personally, I say bring him back. And you have a rookie sit behind him. It's not entirely the best option, but in like totality, just with the game itself. But it seems like the most logical course, because let's say you go the rookie route, that brings you right back to where you started with what essentially catalyzed us getting Aaron Rodgers, anyways. So you bring a rookie, even if Aaron doesn't take the time to mentor the kid's going to learn through osmosis at the end of the day. And is there really a better veteran quarterback out there to learn from than Aaron Rodgers? No. So my opinion, you go in with him, no expectations, and see what happens.
There's worse ideas for that. I think no matter what they do, I just want the next GM and coach making that decision. This should not be Chris or Woody saying you got to keep Aaron, because no one's going to want the job if you're not going to let him do the job. Let them decide what they want to do with Aaron, and I'm on board with whatever the new regime wants to do, assuming we approve of the hires in the first place. They don't hire like Adam Gase or someone like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And any like GM head coach combination that's going to be able to maintain the roster as much as possible, because like we have talent. The thing that I've been saying throughout this entire season is that we have a roster, not a team. So and I'd like to retain as many of those pieces as possible, just like everybody. So I think you got to go with somebody who isn't afraid to like lay down the hammer, especially if we're going to keep going with Aaron Rodgers, like somebody who's not just going to like bend the knee and let him do whatever, but is also focused on the future and keeping this roster as intact as possible.
Mike Vrabel, please. That's the guy.
God, I would love Mike Vrabel.
That's the number one for me. Now, to your point, Raven, I think stats don't tell the whole story, but here's Rodgers' numbers over the last 7 games. And I think the biggest thing I take out of this is the line in the middle there. The Jets have had the lead with under a minute to go in 5 of the last 7 games, and they're 2-5. You cannot tell me we imagined the Jets not being able to close out games here with the defense we thought they were going to have coming in. That's been the biggest disappointing aspect of the season. Sure, the coaching's terrible, but like the defense was supposed to be the biggest strength of the team, and they have been, since Salah's been fired, which expedited this nightmare, they have been one of the worst defenses in football.
Yeah, I mean, I think, pretty much decimating our D-line was not a good idea, and then that just adds insult to injury with losing JJ at the beginning of the season.
And also, like, defensive back is the hardest, in my opinion, the second hardest position in the NFL. Like, expecting no regret. Defenses regress and progress so much each year. Like, expecting zero regression from Sauce, who probably had a top 10 corner season like I could think of in the recent future. And then, like, even DJ has regressed. They commit a ton of penalties. But it's also because they played so well last year because the D-line was also good last year. But, like, you got to expect some regression from your secondary just on luck, penalties, and that's kind of what's happened now.
Luck and just sheer, like, stamina, because the past 2 years we had such great luck with injuries in these guys, where, in a way it was almost natural that, like, we were kind of going to see some of this, JJ, CJ Mosley, et cetera. But so Andrew, how do we fix that? Who do we go for to now fix the defense on top of like the 10,000 other fucking issues we have?
Hold on, Raven. If I don't play this, Bobby will get mad at me and say I'm playing favorites.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Sorry, guys. I'm from New Jersey. I can't help it.
I don't know.
All good. Great call, Raven. Raven's going to make a run in March. I could feel it.
That was a great. that's a great call because we talked ball the whole time. She knows ball. That's a hell of a call.
That's right. Go ahead, Andrew. Answer her question.
Yeah. Who's gonna fix the defense? I don't know. It depends. Whoever our coaches or our DC is needs to fix the defense, man. So that culture's got to change. It's a very, very soft team. For all the X's and O's I talk, what shows up on film also is this team doesn't play for one another and they're soft as hell. So again, I don't know the best coaching candidate in my eyes. I don't have like a certain best coaching candidate. I'm not very on board with hiring like a first-time head coach that was like Ben Johnson I'd be for. But like the Bobby Slowicks and I even would be interested in Liam Cohen, the OC for the Bucks, but it is nice to have a coach that's had some experience. So hiring a first-time OC to be a head coach is tough. I'm going to have to dive a bit deeper into the options, but it does seem like Vrabel out of all the options is one of the best.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you are going to hire a first-time like coordinator to be a head coach, if it's like Liam Cohen, for example, then I hope Liam Cohen would do what Sean McVay did when he became the youngest head coach ever. He hired Wade Phillips to be his DC, like hire an experienced defensive coordinator. So, okay, Liam Cohen is the Jet head coach. Hire Matt Eberflus to be your DC then, right?
Yeah.
Like hire a proven defensive mind that has previous head coaching experience. That's the best case scenario. Eberflus, not a good head coach. Very good DC. Honestly, it sucks. Saleh would be perfect for that role. Not a good head coach, phenomenal DC. But like that's what you're kind of looking at if you're going to hire the inexperienced coordinator to be a head coach.
Exactly. And that's the issue with the OCs because they don't really have like a tree of guys they could bring over. Like, Saleh, Saleh brought over LaFleur. I don't know if Liam Cohen has any ties with any of the guys in
he was
Tampa.
with the Rams. He was previously there.
Yeah, that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Peter Castro has done it again. Peter Castro's gunning for that Super Bowl III photo. Another 10 raffle tickets have been entered, which means Peter Castro is now up to 20 raffle entries in this show alone. Peter, this is once again for you.
We got to get rid of Yul Brick and then go after Gabriel first. Then I want Queensberry. Got to look at the monkey guy. I like Flo Knees. And maybe Slow Dick in Houston is the answer.
All right, we talked about Slow Dick in Houston. How about the monkey guy, Andrew? Todd Monken.
I'm a fan. I'm obviously I'm a huge fan of everything he's done, obviously, this year with the Ravens. But I was going to make sure he was the OC for Georgia. He's never been a head coach in the NFL. It feels like he's been around for a damn long time. He's only 58, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm an offensive guy before a defensive guy, so I would love Monken. He has a good track record. Obviously, this year, how much of it is Lamar? How much of it is him? I don't know. I think the scheme that he's put Lamar in has allowed him to excel to the extent that he has. But obviously, there's some just Lamar factoring in there. But I think Monken's a good option as well. Liam Cohen, though, really intrigues me because I feel what he's done with that team and the amount of injuries they've had to sustain Baker. I know Canales kind of got him back to where everyone thought Baker would be, but to sustain that and make the most of it with Evans being out for like 6 weeks this year. Guy went out for the year. I know their line is at injuries. Everyone has injuries, but you haven't really – their offense has been extremely effective. I haven't like dove deep into stats wise. I mean, I'm looking right now in the past 5 weeks, they're top 6 in dropback success rate, top 5 in EPA per dropback. It seems like they've been humming over there. So he very much intrigues me.
100%. And the great Peter Castro has weighed in. Monkey too old. He's 58, Castro.
Yeah,
he's not that
bad.
old.
For some reason, it feels like he's a lot older, but that's not bad.
We also got this gem from Castro. Slow Dick Ducks. That's translation for Slowick sucks. I speak fluent Castro. Ladies and gentlemen.
People are so Alan Slowick now. I know. Are you still in touch with people from Houston? Are they all hate him?
I was ahead of the curve on Slowick, though.
Yeah.
I was saying that's not a guy. He's a one-year wonder.
I mean, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's crazy how quickly things have shifted with him and Stroud. I mean, I have a lot of uneducated friends that yell at me that Stroud sucks and tell me that I'm an idiot for I just hold out hope for a lot of guys because I know that Football.
I don't think he sucks. I
Yeah.
just think that, he's going through a sophomore slump. They've had O-line issues.
Yeah.
And Slowick is not nearly as good of an offensive mind as they made him out to be, because I think the league adjusted to what he runs. I think Houston is in the bottom 5 of second half scoring. Like, they never make adjustments. And we saw that in the Jet game too.
Yeah. No, I know they've had a rough year. But they're still going to make the playoffs. So.
Yeah. Well, the division sucks. And I think, I think D'Amico's a pretty good coach. They got some talent on that team too. No doubt.
Definitely.
Maurice Morales, Jesse P, NY Jets superfan, Kiko Min, Michael Cesari, Thomas Rossi, Kickout, Jams Joe, Sean Mahoney, and Carl Dubois, all receiving channel memberships from Peter Castro, who's gifted 20 of the 25 memberships in this show alone. Love it. Love it. All right. This one's from Morning Woody, who writes in, why not get Vrabel, keep downing with Rodgers and Adams, rebuild the defense? I think run it back. I think they'll be better next season. You and I talked about this off air. If they hired Vrabel and say he wants Rodgers for a year, do you think he'd keep Downing on the staff? Would Downing be the play caller? Would Downing be the quarterback coach? What are your thoughts on that?
It's so weird because now we're gonna have to think about like who's gonna call the shots on that decision. If Vrabel was the head coach, is he gonna go to Rodgers and ask him, or is he just gonna put his foot down and say Downing's the head coach? I mean, the OC without Rodgers, with or without Rodgers, like at least.
I think Downing's only the OC if Aaron's back.
But don't they? So what? Weren't they on the staff? They were on a staff together, though, right?
Yeah, and Downing, I think, lost his job because he got a DUI. I don't think Vrabel ever fired him.
Okay, interesting. So I wonder how their relationship is. But I mean, they have prior ties. Look, if you want to run that back, I don't know. I'm still in the mode of let's get a fresh offensive mind in the building, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. He did fire Downing. I don't know if he'd be back.
I don't either.
NYC writes in, we all want Garrett Wilson back, but at what cost would you sign him long term for? Do you think he'll ask for top pay? I mean, I'd offer 4 years, $100 million. Start there.
Yeah. Again, I'd have to look up the top contracts. What is he going to ask for? I would assume like a contract similar to whatever. I'm trying to find out what I would think something similar to like what Ayuk got. Ayuk got, I think, 4 for 120. Yeah, 4 for 120. Like the guys that get like 4, I guess DJ Moore got 5 for 110. I mean, he's young. Like he's gonna.
It only goes up too. So if you're the Jets, get ahead of this while you can.
Right. Like he's 24, so he's gonna want another contract at 28, 29. Like you kind of have to give him top dollar right now. I would assume he's going to command something between like 25 to 30 a year easily.
I'm keeping him. I'm figuring it out.
No, I'm paying that as well, 100%.
Wrong verb. Rodgers is going to torture the next OC. Not if they win. Not if you have a real head coach who's not afraid of saying it's this way or we're not going to bring you back. Like that's the thing. We could say bring Aaron back, but there's got to be like a real stipulations in place for it to be back. Like we're not running this archaic offense, Aaron. We're running a modern scheme. And if you're not on board with that, that's fine. But tell us now, and we'll cut you. We'll give you a chance to latch on with another team. If not, then you got to be all in. And Aaron has said that that learning a new scheme is not a deal breaker for him to play next year. He already said that. So if he's telling the truth, then let's find out.
I don't know about him. I don't know how he actually feels about that. But he had 2 MVP seasons when LaFleur was running the offense for them. And he, again, came out and said he hated it. He hated the offense so much, but it couldn't be that bad. So,
yeah, then he said he grew to like it anyway. So,
yeah.
And there were still some concepts in there from what he liked to run too.
Yeah, they just added things that made the offense easier. I actually answered a comment on Twitter the other day that someone was like, why is everything so hard for this offense? And I said, because the offense is predicated around the players winning, not the scheme winning. That's if you look at any other good offensive scheme, the Lions, they help their players win from scheme. They don't make their players win on their own. Like how many times we're counting on the clips I showed from this game, Devontae winning on so many just one-on-one deep balls. Like that's not scheming him open. So I'm ready for a modern offense for sure.
Andrew, can I give a huge shout out to someone very special?
Yes, sir.
The great Susan Fialkow has placed an order inside the Jake Asman merch store. I just got the email here.
My God. And she's watching the show right now.
Shout out to Susan Fialkow, Andrew's awesome mom, who I met at the Jet home opener.
That's great.
Let's find out what your mom ordered here. An Asmaniac crew neck sweatshirt. Love it. A Jake Asman show. Unisex mesh shorts. All right.
You know
How
what?
about it?
I've told when I came on the Bobby show, I said that she's going to come on the show. Should I try and get her down here to come say hi?
If she's available, why not?
Bob, this is Bobby's request. Hopefully Bobby's. I just shot her a text. Maybe Bobby was like, you need to bring your mom on the show. I was like, yeah, I'll try, Bobby.
I love it. Bobby's ready to go if she's able to hop on.
Oh,
So
okay.
let me know. Bo with a super chat for us. Do we have to wait until the playoffs are complete, or could we interview at the close of the regular season? And what is our total cap space right now? The Jets do not have to wait until the playoffs are complete to start interviewing or announcing a hire. They are not allowed to start interviewing anyone employed by a team, though, until the conclusion of the regular season, which is why the only official interviews you've heard about so far have been Thomas Dimitroff, who doesn't work for a team, John Robinson, who they announced today completed his interview, who hasn't worked for a team since the Titans fired him, and then Louis Riddick, who's on TV. They haven't done that interview yet, but they apparently will. So, that's why you're only hearing about candidates who don't work for teams.
Right. Yeah. I have to look into these GMs, but I thought your interview with Dimitrov was pretty informative. And
also, did I just ruin a Christmas gift for you, Andrew? That's what the chat is telling me.
I'm not getting anything.
Are you getting Jake Asman swag for Christmas?
I already got. I have like 3 things. I have 3 Jake things. I don't know what. God knows.
Maybe it was ordered for somebody else.
It could have been. It could be from. I've there was
another name on there, but I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to spoil it.
I got multiple family members that watch the show. So.
Okay. I would feel awful if I just spoiled Christmas.
Come on in. They're saying that you spoiled Christmas for you.
Did I just ruin the Christmas present for Andrew, Susan?
No, you didn't. It's for my brother-in-law.
Is he watching right now?
Doesn't matter. I was asking him his sizes while he was on. Anyway, he's watching probably.
Okay.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I saw the alert and I was like, no way.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Well, this was a long time.
Are we ready for the Bobby meeting of the minds right now?
You want to meet Bobby?
Yeah.
She's a big fan of Bobby, actually, behind the scenes. Huge fan.
Oh, who isn't? He's one of the greats. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the ultimate meeting of the minds. Bobby Midnight on the show right now.
Well, you know I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show, I'm Bobby.
Hello.
Hi, Bobby.
How you doing today?
I'm
happy you made this child. He's a great guy.
Oh, thank you.
He's very smart, and you're very beautiful. So.
Thank you so much, Bob.
And you guys look alike too. Yeah.
I would hope.
Yes, of course. I look like my mother. I don't look like my dad. I look like my mom. Why? I don't know, twins kind of. We do look a little like,
I am a twin though.
You have a twin?
Yeah. Jay, you weren't at the meetup. Everyone, my whole family was at the
the home opener, right?
Yeah.
That's when I didn't decide to take my medicine. How stupid can I be?
The best night of the Jet season. Little did we know.
Yeah.
The highlight of the Aaron Rodgers era.
Yep, I know. That was a good game against the smelly Patriots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how cold is it in New York, guys? Cold?
It's not. It's actually warm today.
It's 60.
60? Oh my God, we're like in the 40s. I think we're in the 40s. I'll take 60.
What about the Jets? What do you think, Bobby?
Oh, we gotta pray they do the right thing on head coach and general manager. They got a lot of things to work on. So does the New York Giants. They stink worse.
He was a Giant.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's another stinky team in New York.
What if Rodgers watching this? You want to say something to Rodgers?
I love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I followed him in Green Bay.
She's obsessed with Aaron Rodgers.
There we go.
Are you originally from Long Island?
No, my other 2 kids went to Wisconsin, Madison University. So I just started following him like 7 or 8 years ago. I love him.
That's great. The Badgers. Yeah. Well, the Jets have a couple good Wisconsin players on their team right now, right? Tippmann and Braylon Allen, Bobby's favorite player.
Yes, my favorite player. Yes.
Also, We got some great comments here. ISU writes in, Mrs. Fialkow, thank you for allowing your son to participate in the circus.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. I look forward to this every week.
That's great.
He knows what he's doing.
Bo writes in, Mom, you raised a brilliant son. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yes, you did. Did I tell you who he reminds me of, though? Does she know?
Oh.
Wait,
yes, Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe?
No, the guy on. No.
She didn't watch All American, Bobby. She didn't watch it.
Yeah, he's an offensive coach on the show. He reminds me of Andrew.
I don't remember him.
Yeah,
I did watch that show.
Let's see what I think.
He's the guy who got sick and can't play football anymore.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember. He had a twin sister. He had a sister. I don't know if they were twins, right?
Asher? No, you're thinking of different people.
I'm thinking of different.
So, are you from Long Island all your life, or lived anywhere?
No, we're not from Long Island. I'm from Westchester.
Oh yeah, what area again? I forgot.
You're not in it now.
It's okay.
Scarsdale.
I know where that is.
It's near like White Plains, like a mile from White Plains, if you know
that.
Yeah,
Cross County Parkway, Cross County. Yep. I'm from the Bronx.
Geography with Bobby, a classic.
I think I've also told Bobby that I'm from Scarsdale like 4 different times.
He'll ask every time.
When you get my age, I forget a lot of stuff.
That's fair.
Me too.
You're not the same age as I am.
Great question here from Jay Quest. What is Andrew getting for his high school graduation?
Oh man, that was many years ago.
No, they always think he looks younger than he is.
Bobby, do you know how old I am or no?
I think you said you were 23.
All right, 24. That's close.
Okay.
They won't believe me though. Let's see what the chat's.
I do.
Peter Castro knows Garth Road. Yeah, we know Garth Road. Peter.
Connor Long. Does she know Connor Long?
We met Connor at training camp together.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He's a smart kid too.
He's coming up.
Yes.
Oh my God! I was delivering New York Newsday at the time at 13.
Oh, Connor just wrote in the chat. I thought
he's here. There you go.
Connor, we love you, everybody. Connor, nice to meet us, Mrs. Fialkow. And
nice
Andrew.
to meet you too. I love Will.
And Jake, thank you for having me on with her. That was
really
nice treat for me.
Bobby, great job. Thanks for calling in.
And
all right, have a good day, guys.
Okay, bye, guys.
What a cameo, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Fialkow checking in.
She's gonna be freaking. She's gonna freak out about that later.
I loved it. I got the notification. I'm like, no way.
And it just reminded me. I was like, yeah. She's like, Bobby. I told Bobby I'd bring her on. So
I love that. That's great.
That's
the Fialkow family. I bet a bunch of them at the home opener. Tremendous people, no doubt. Fellow Asmaniacs as well.
Yes, sir.
Which we love. All right, Andrew. I appreciate it, man. Great job. That might have been the last time we do a film review after a win. So tried to savor it because who knows what these final 3 weeks will look like.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you, Jake. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you guys. I'll talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew. I didn't cut him off, by the way. I think he just hit the X button too quick. But he's gone. Great job by Andrew. Make sure you guys read his work at Jet X Factor and, of course, follow him on social media as well. NY Jet Superfan says, I missed this question for Andrew. My bad, NY Jet Superfan. Great show, guys. Question, Andrew, who would you draft for the Jets? Carter, Graham, Will Johnson, or right tackle? I can tell you that Andrew has talked about how much he likes Mason Graham in the past, NY Jets, but remind me next week that you super chatted this question, and I'll make sure Andrew addresses it next week. Or if Andrew's in the chat right now, he wants to write it in, go ahead. All right, open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Let's say hello right now to Jersey Jet, who's next. Hey, Jersey Jet. Jersey Jet, I can't deal with a potential copyright issue, so thank you. Please call back without the music. Jersey Joe is on the line, not to be confused with Jersey Jet. What's up, Jersey Joe?
Hey, Jake, how are you?
What's up, man?
Hanging in there. I think I had two points. First, I want to ask you if you think that just like, because I know they mentioned that Vrabel's and Rodgers, they're buddies or whatever, and that Vrabel would probably maybe stick with Rodgers for his year or a year or whatever. Is that the only, and granted, what you've been saying the past couple weeks, is that the only path to seeing Rodgers come back is pretty much Vrabel? Do you think there's other coaches and GMs out there who are seeing how the Jets offense can be, and, maybe with some good coaching on the defense and some pieces in the free agency, which was my other question, was, what do we do about defensively? If you think, I saw Javon Holland might become a free agent at safety. I'm sure Miami would probably pay him, but in that off chance that he does become a free agent and we get a good draft, get a few tackles, and I don't know, I think that could be a nice little boost for the defense with good coaching. That's I think what their main problem is. The thing with Sauce, I think he's in his head, but I think a lot of it came down to coaching and firing Saleh, and they all got in their heads and they just lost that juice. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a couple coaches that would probably want Aaron back, but I think it also has to come down to how he looks these last three. If he goes out there and stinks these last three, for example, who cares that he played well against the 32nd ranked Jaguars or a mediocre Dolphins team when the weather's warm in Florida? Show me something on Sunday in the cold. Show me something on against the Bills in Buffalo, right? When no one's going to give you a chance in that game. Show me something last week of the year in the cold against Miami again. That's what I want to see. I do think, though, a veteran coach is more likely than not to want to have Rodgers. So I think Vrabel would probably be more open to it than maybe, say, Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson. But we don't know that. If they assess the other options out there and think Rodgers for a year gives them the best chance, he also could be back in that scenario, too. So there's just so much unknown right now.
Right. I wonder what guys like Allen and Gary think about getting a Rodgers if he plays consistently like the other day for the rest of the season if they got him back. Because I know Allen and all these guys are adamant on, oh, no, we need to just retool on offense and defense and get a new quarterback. But I just don't think with this window and with the morale for Sauce and these young guys, I just don't think we could throw away another year. And you've been saying coaches come in, they're not going to want to just retool. At least Vrabel won't. He's going to want to go make a deep run, which I think this roster right now could. I mean, there is some holes, like the D-line that needs to be addressed, obviously, but I don't think any fan or anybody in the building is going to want to be, oh yeah, let's just do a quick rebuild or retool and then scratch next year and then focus on 2026. I don't think that's going to be good for the young players at all. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they should try and win next year, right? You're not maybe mortgaging your future to do everything possible to win, like some of the moves they made the last couple, but there's talent on this team, so they should be trying to win as many games as possible. That's the bottom line. And yeah, they do need to revamp the defense, but they're not starting from nothing. There's several all pros and Pro Bowlers that are under contract next year that this defense is going to have. And I think a lot of it's coaching. I watch the Vikings defense, and they're not exactly, littered with a ton of great names that people have heard of. They're just well coached by Flores. I think the scheme really matters. The Giants defense has a lot of the same players on it from this year to last year, minus the safety that they let go that signed with the Packers. But the difference is the Giants never replaced Wink Martindale, and their defense is sunk. So I'm going to let you go, Jersey Judge, because it was a little choppy with the connection. But it's coaching, man. People forget when Tommy DeVito was winning games last year for the Giants, how many turnovers during the 3-game winning streak the Giants had did the Giant defense force? 12. 12 turnovers in 3 games. That's why they were winning. It wasn't just DeVito. Martindale's a good coach. So you got to hire a good coaching staff. That's the whole point. Mike D's nuts in the house. He says, are we really fighting in the chat on a day when we lost Keith? WTF, man, get over yourselves. Yeah, let's not fight in the chat, please. I don't know what we're fighting about. It's hard to keep track of everything. But why don't we all get along? That'd be nice. And for those who missed it, obviously, I addressed it at the top. So, if you want my full commentary on it and all that, please take a look. But RIP to Keith Best, who we learned earlier, unfortunately passed away. Speaking of Keith Best, let's bring on someone who's very near and dear to our hearts. Yesterday, he offered on the air Charles Gorman a job at his restaurant. It was one of the most incredible moments, I'd say, in the recent history of this show. Let's say hello to Chef Kevin right now. What's up, Chef?
Jake, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? And I love the shirt you have on too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Keith Best, man, like you're in our hearts, man. Thinking about you, praying about you, your family, the whole nine. Such a great soul, man. I had the pleasure of chatting with him a couple of times on Bobby's platform. Bobby was a gracious guest, let me chat with him and everything. Keith also was talking about my wife, talking about how he knows what she's going through, kind of, what I'm going through, mentally, financially. Like, this stuff ain't a game. It costs a lot. Families, it's a lot of stress on us. We have a 9-year-old son too. So with, letting him know what's going on, my mom's going to the hospital a couple times a week and everything like that for treatment and all, it's like, it's pretty tough, but the only thing you can really do is just keep your head up, man. Just know that today, all of us, including people in the chat, man, we all woke up today.
Amen.
All right. Like I want you guys to tell me what's better than waking up. I'll wait. Like that's the main thing, that we got an opportunity of life, an opportunity to do something today. And it's like, what are we doing with it? All right. I'm not on the chat. I don't really see what's going on or whatever, but any kind of beef, any kind of discrepancies that we have, just dead all that, man. We got a lot bigger things to be worrying about. We lost one of ours. Recently after that Miami game, I thought we were gonna hear from Keith, because I think K and D or somebody was able to get Keith tickets to the Miami game, and not hearing about him, was a little concerning. So Jake, thank you for reaching out and figuring out, what happened and all that. We definitely lost a good one. I don't really have Jet stuff today. I just want to pay tribute to Keith Best, knowing that the energy that he brought, knowing what he was doing, fighting through. I don't think that dude had a bad day at all, man. That guy was a fighter, a warrior till the end. So I just want to send my condolences to the family. And then for Gorman, man, like, hey, as soon as I heard him talking about he used to be a dishwasher and then heard he used to sell shoes, I got scared, because I know Bonesy already has Chiefs fan. So with knowing about the shoes, I'm like, damn, man, if he gets Gorman too, that's going to be a monster squad. So I had to quickly reach out and let him know, like, hey, look, like, just to get your feet in the door, I could give you a couple of shifts, but knowing how far away he is, like, I totally get it. I was gonna get a little pissed off at JJ for kind of interfering when I'm trying to, like, kind of set something up with Charles. So that would have been epic to have Gorman at the Cloverleaf dishwashing, and then who knows, like, if he got a motor, a great ambition to strive and do good, he could work his way up through the ranks, man. That's what I do. I love doing that. I don't like hiring outside. I like internally promoting my guys, working with them, teaching them the ambiance, the nuances. Like I'm very skilled at what I do, man. There's nobody out there who's doing 6 seasonal menus weekly. All right, that's tough to do. A main menu, a lunch menu, weekly specials, Taco Tuesday, Rib Night Thursday, and brunch. Nobody's doing that. So I like to make sure that my work ethic speaks loudly. When people come in, they have a million options. All right. So I don't want to bother you anymore, Jake. Just a memory of Keith, man. 420, that episode where we had 420 memberships.
Yep. I love it. Well said, Chef Kev. Man, awesome
Keith
call.
Best, man. All love, man.
Love it. Chef Kevin checking in. For those who missed yesterday's show, it was awesome. Unfortunately, Gorman doesn't drive. He said he had a fear of driving, so we're going to work with him on that, hopefully. But on the spot, boom, Chef Kevin coming through and offering Charles a job, as Charles is talking about how he's job hunting right now as he's unemployed. So that was awesome. And I will be checking out the Cloverleaf Tavern at some point soon. We were supposed to try and do something over the summer, and the timing didn't work. So we will definitely do something in the off season for sure. But if anyone's in the New Jersey area, Caldwell, New Jersey, Cloverleaf Tavern. Luppy coming through for the people. How about this? A 5-spot of channel membership. 5 raffle tickets in Luppy's name. But first, here who's got the memberships. Truth be told, EJ, the former producer of Joe and Evan on The Fan, Ernie Acosta, Easy Chillin', John Reed, all receiving channel memberships courtesy of the Lup Man, who always delivers. All right, we'll keep rolling here with your calls. This is a great comment here from TC. Remember when Keith used to yell at Bobby to clean his room, LOL. So many great Keith moments. The tribute video that Gator made, and shout out to Gator for putting that together. He could have had so many different things to choose from. For those who want to remember Keith, go back over the summer. The Best of the Jake Asman Show, one of the episodes. Look for the episode that has Keith in the thumbnail and watch back some of the moments from there because Keith was heavily featured in that one. Good moments, man. Great memories. Let's see. I'm trying to find one of the clips I have saved to play. Try and honor Keith here a little bit. And for those who missed it, Keith in his calls would always talk about, young children that are dealing with cancer that he would say. So, in Keith's name, I thought it'd be nice if people, if they have the means to do so, could contribute to, St. Jude's Children's Hospital or a different foundation that works with kids with cancer. Where is this? I know I had these cuts here. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. My favorite Keith Best moment.
Look, I'm going to turn around.
Keith mooning us. There we go.
No. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.
Incredible. R.I.P. Keith. F cancer. Let's say hello to Philly Noodles. He's next. What's up, Philly?
Hey, what's up, man? First off, rest in peace, Keith. I've seen a couple of clips of him when I was, first tuning into the show, and his takes were really funny. He had that raspy voice. It's very signature. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But rest in peace for sure. My mother had cancer. She beat it. My nephew had cancer when he was a toddler years ago. He had leukemia. So congrats to everybody who beats it, and sorry for his loss and his family. Man, I'm just rocking my Bobby Boucher. If I'm not rocking my Jets jersey, I'm rocking my Waterboy jersey on my Adam Sandler shit. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But I came on and I was like, oh, damn. I don't know if you talked about it yet. I'm a Mets fan. And I saw the Yanks just acquired Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, he's going to play center field, though. So we're going to steal Alonso from you guys to play first base.
Hey, you know what? I mean, I want to say you could have him.
Payback's a bitch.
It's not a bitch when he's swinging and missing, man. I'll tell you, it hurts when he misses some doubles and shooting up the gaps, and he's just swinging for the home runs all the time. But that's my dad's take. I feel like if he's spending that money, we're gonna keep spending the money as a Mets franchise. In Keith's honor, pour a little something out, and for your beard's sake, Mr. Orange Man.
Love it.
Here we go. A little something.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir. Salute. And let's just keep going. The AR take, Aaron Rodgers, man. People want it to happen. I'm afraid this game. The Bills, they want that number 1 seed. The blood's in the water. Patrick Mahomes, his ankle. I don't know, man. This guy's going to be him for the Rams game, and the next game, he's going to be running for his life. Aaron Rodgers.
Well, let's see what he looks like, right? The O-line protects him, and he plays well.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. And then sit Brees. That's the only thing I'm going to keep screaming it. Sit Brees. Sit Brees. Sit Brees. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know why Brees is playing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
It's another example of incompetence in this organization. There's no reason for Brees to be playing. Shut him down. Shut him down. Ted writes in, Jake, I bought 5 memberships and it shows on my end. Can you check? Did I miss this, Ted? I don't see your 5. It has not come through on my end, Ted. But if it does, I will immediately let you know. Let's see. ISU actually saw a rumor Yankees were looking at Goldschmidt. Yeah, I mean, they told Bellinger reportedly he's going to play center field, so They're going to need to add a first baseman. Now, I like Bellinger because he could play both center and first, so it gives you positional flexibility. But the Yankee outfield next year is going to be Judge and right, Bellinger center, and Dominguez in left. And Dominguez is like the X factor for the season now, because if he's anywhere close to what they think he's eventually going to be, they got a hell of a lineup. Assuming Volpe and Wells take another step forward in their development as young players. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to the great Ricky NY. He's next. What's up, Ricky? Ricky?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you, Ricky. You'll hear this in about 5 minutes on delay.
Okay, I got a delay. I had mixed feelings about Aaron coming back. He played really well this past week, but now with Drew Aller and Jalen Milroe both returning to college next year, I think the possibility of drafting a quarterback has completely gone out the window. And so, which I didn't want a quarterback in this draft anyway, but I think we're in a position now where we almost have to bring Aaron back.
It's possible. There's not great options in the draft. The veteran free agent options aren't any good. It's plausible a new GM and coach are like, look, if Aaron's open to running a modern offense, he's our best option. But then Aaron's got to want to play, to be open to that. And that's why I think Devontae comes into play with all this. Because you got to keep Devontae, right? So if keeping Devontae means you got to keep Aaron for one more year, it might be worth it, because what's your other option at not even just quarterback, but receiver as well? There's no good receivers out there. None. It's terrible.
Not really. And I mean, look at what Calvin Ridley got last year. I mean, are we really going to pay like a kind of a mid receiver 20-something a year when we got to worry about paying our own young guys? I mean, and I've been saying it for the longest time. I'll keep saying it. We need to give Garrett that Amon St. Brown deal, $30 million a year, like yesterday. Like get that done now.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best way for a new GM to endear himself to this fan base. And one last thing, where we're sitting in the draft right now, our draft picks absolutely has to be Will Johnson. No two ways about it. They need to get it done.
Ricky, tremendous job out of you. Way to fight through the internet. He still got his takes in. That's a legend right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Bo has gifted 5 channel memberships. Bo will be in our next Asmaniac giveaway. Let's go, Bo. Bang. Here we go. 5 from Bo. The following people are officially Asmaniacs. Here we go. Kevin James. That's my guy. King of Queens. Peter Borbio. Hennessy Heisman. Fitting. I just took a slug of Henny. Greg the Hammer and Luis Cordova, all receiving channel memberships. Boom, boom, boom. Love that. All right, more of your calls here. Let's say hello to Rob the Jet fan. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Jake. Calling because I caught the tail end of Ted from Florida, and he was talking about Vrabel, and oh boy, I mean, I was going nuts listening to him. I mean, that was horrible. Everything he was saying, he did not make any sense. And everything that he disputed, you just looked it up and you were like, okay, let's go through the records. Let's show what Vrabel did with Henry only playing 8 games. And then he's asking you, who's the other running back? So, I mean, so what are you supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to play with your players and get your players to play for you? Isn't that the whole point of being a good coach? Or, you know what, improvising when you have injuries? I mean, Jake, we had a guy here who had 4 good years in Vrabel, and he had Tannehill, and everyone knows that Tannehill's not that good of a quarterback, but he got the best that he possibly could out of that quarterback, counting 1 year that they beat Brady and company, okay? He won Coach of the Year, but yet Ted is sitting there and he's saying that Vrabel's not that good of a coach. Oh, because of the Ring of Honor, we shouldn't hire this guy.
I really don't know what Ted was saying. He was all over the place.
And then he's saying Aaron Glenn. Are you joking? Come on, what are you talking about, buddy? What are you talking about? You're an intelligent guy, but you don't sound too intelligent when you make remarks like that. It had no sense. It carried no. I mean, I was going nuts listening to him. It didn't make any sense. And I heard you. I could tell you were frustrated too.
You were going nuts?
Hell yeah. Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Oh, I'm glad you're on, buddy. Buddy, I mean, you're a good, healthy eater, correct? You take care of yourself?
Rob.
I didn't hear you. Say again?
I do, Rob, definitely.
Okay, so I don't understand, man, because you sound like an extremely bright man, but when you spoke today, that did not sound bright. I mean, you're telling me that Vrabel's not a good coach? This guy, 4 out of 6 years, had a winning record, Ted, and then he won Coach of the Year. He beat Brady head-to-head, and then the year that they won 12 games, they did not have Derrick Henry. And you'd rather have Aaron Glenn as a head coach?
Rob, I said over and over, I think he's a good coach. I said it over and over. So I never said he was a bad coach. I said at this point, I don't believe he's the right coach for the Jets. That's my opinion, though.
Who is?
Glenn.
Are you joking?
He knows
Why Aaron Glenn?
Played for the Jets.
So
he can fit. Okay. That's slightly important to me, except over a Patriot ex-player. Let's just put it that way. But that's a personal opinion right there. He knows how to coach a defense.
Do you remember when Bill Parcells coached the Patriots and went to a Super Bowl with them, Ted? I do. Continue.
Yeah, me too. How did Parcells do?
But I'm talking about the cheating dynasty of the Patriots. That was my point. Okay. He played under the worst one of the most corrupt franchises in the history of the NFL, quite honestly.
Yeah, but he never coached underneath their tree. He wasn't from them. I mean, he just played for them, but he didn't coach he didn't learn from Belichick how to coach.
So I brought up the facts that Derrick Henry had a couple years where he had over 300 carries, Rob. Where do you see that in the NFL? That's silly.
You don't see it anymore. But that's why you have 3 running backs right now. We have Brees. We have Isaiah Thomas. We Davis, excuse me. And then you also have Braylon Allen. You have 3 workhorses. 3 workhorses. You don't have to put all the workload on one running back. And you also have, if he comes back, Devontae Adams. You have Garrett Wilson. And hopefully, I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers comes back. So they're going to have a lot to disperse here. Back in the day, you had Tannehill. You had one really good receiver in AJ. And then you had, back then they used the running backs a lot in Henry and stuff. It's a different situation right now. It's not the same.
I was basing that opinion on the fact that I'm not sure how capable he is of running a modern offense. That's my point.
But
you got to.
All right, so let me push back.
Can I?
Go ahead.
I know. Let me.
Go ahead.
Finish.
Go ahead.
You're gonna face the likes of the Bills, who can score 40 points a game. Okay, we need to compete with a team like that, who's an elite team. Okay, we're not even close to that. Not even close right now.
Okay.
So.
I can't. I can't. Ted, did you talk to Vrabel? Did he tell you he's not running a modern offense? He hired Matt LaFleur. They run one of the most innovative offenses in the NFL in Green Bay. That was his first OC hire. Then he hired Arthur Smith. Wasn't a great head coach, we understand that, but look at the job he's doing in Pittsburgh now after he had success in Tennessee. Come on, man. I can't. You don't even know what a modern offense is. You could run the football effectively in a modern offense. Why are we acting like the Jets are going to run the ball 400 times a game next year if they hired Mike Vrabel? Where does that even come from? A good coach adapts to the personnel they have. God, I couldn't do it anymore. That was brutal. Hey, huge shout out to Genergy here. A $50 super chat. This is for Keith Best, #1 all-time Asmaniac Hall of Fame. Prayers to his family and loved ones. Rest as our guardian angel. Well said, Genergy. Well said. I'll tell you what. I'm going to, once YouTube calculates the super chat, before I make my donation to St. Jude's in Keith's name, I'm going to tack on whatever this comes out to after YouTube takes out their nonsense for the super chat. So thank you very much. FPP writes in, RIP Keith. Absolutely. For those who tuned in late, please go back to the beginning of the show where we talked about it. And to those who are watching after the fact, thanks for tuning in. More of your calls here before we wrap. Let's say hello to JJ, who's next. Hey, JJ.
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing? Well, it didn't even start yet. Is it bad already? There's no way.
I hear the crackling.
All right, well, I'll make this quick. I just want to say, man, that the chat has to get a little tougher skin, man. I remember back in the day when you would put me in the battlefield against Dre, against Rob, against Neil, all these people, and they would curse me out and tell me I was stupid and all this stuff and blah, 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 and I would debate them. This was before you had this nice fancy intro, before, you know, people would battle and stuff like that. And no one had any sympathy for me. But now all of a sudden, you know, not to bring up the whole BMAC thing, but like certain people get thrown into the fire, and then this whole chat turns into like this soft, oh my God, leave him alone. When JJ had to scream and fight against Rob from Glenn Head and Neil and Dre and all these people, no one cared. So why are we getting all soft as a channel? Like, let's man up in this channel and have some fun. Also, I want to know who's on the committee, because I want to make sure that this March Madness thing is fair. Like, people like Gary should be #1 seeds. I don't care what anybody says, all right? He's an entertaining person. Just because you don't agree with him does not necessarily mean that he's not a #1 seed. I think Gary's a #1. I think Allen #1 seed.
No,
I think Charles.
Stop it. Charles, I
just
agree
because
with
you disagree. Just because you disagree with Allen doesn't make Allen not a #1 seed.
I don't think Allen is one of the 4 best callers into the show. I don't think he should be a 1 seed.
It's not if he's a best caller. It's who brings the most entertainment to the show.
I agree. And I think there are 4 other callers I would rank before I'd even think about Allen.
In terms of sheer entertainment, I mean, sometimes Allen says stuff.
Go ahead.
You don't find him entertaining?
Sometimes. You know, sometimes, not more than I'll give you. Look, I'm not on the committee because I don't want there to be any bias. But the committee is featured of Boomtown, Tom, and Rich, the people that have the wrenches next to their name in the chat. They put together the monthly rankings. And all I'm going to do is basically facilitate the month-long tournament and have people vote on it each day. Each show we're going to do all month. You know, each show's going to have a different poll with a different matchup in the bracket. And we're going to update it as we go. So, look, it's up for the committee to decide.
Is it best call or is it most entertaining call?
I think it's just everything you bring to the show, good or bad. It doesn't need to be entertaining. It could be hilarity. It could be good jet takes. It could be anything. It's just what your contribution to the show over the last year.
Okay, because I don't want a guy like Allen or Gary to get low rated in this polls, because they are a part of the show. Like, without an Allen, without a
guess what, JJ? If they are, you know, in your words, you know, underseeded, then vote for them to win. And if the listeners agree, they'll go far in the tournament.
Yeah, but no offense, some of these listeners on this show, I mean, you say one thing that they don't agree with, and they're like, "Oh, get him off right now! Hang up, Jake, hang up!" Like, I mean, it's craziness. It's craziness. Where I want to know, where does a guy like BMAC end up being seated though, because he brings a lot of value to the show, in my opinion. And me and him are brothers now. I didn't really get to choose, but he's chosen me as his brother. So now that me and him are brothers, I got to defend him too. I think that he should be a part of the tournament. I think he should be a high seed. I don't know if I think he's a number 1 seed, but he should be pretty up there, right?
I think he's in the tournament for sure. Obviously, I don't know what seed he'd be though. I mean, think about how many great callers we have, JJ, yourself included. You're going to be ranked.
I don't want to be a part of this tournament.
But you are. You don't have a choice. You're in the tournament.
I don't want to be.
You don't
I
get
want
to
to
critique every other caller and then not be in the tournament yourself. I don't want to hear it.
No, because if I'm in the tournament, then I can't give my honest opinions about what I think about the tournament.
What do you mean? You have no impact on whether or not you win. Once you're seeded, it's up for people to vote.
Yeah, but like if I'm a part of the votings, then I can't call in good faith and say the stuff that I want to say,
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
We bring on JJ's brother right now.
Brother? What's up, my man?
What's up, my brother?
Yo,
Ever since you called me your brother, I'm starting to see a resemblance, actually. What's your dad's name?
Yo, I told you, man. We are brothers, man. We gotta, me and you gotta gets together, man, and hang out, man.
You both have terrible internet connection. Maybe you are brothers.
Come this Sunday. Come this Sunday. I got a ticket for you if you want to come this Sunday.
Okay, I mean, I would love to. Me, you can hang out. Do they got strip clubs in
Okay, see, no, I'm talking about the Jets game. I'm talking about come for the Jets game. We're not going to the strip club. I'm a man of God. I don't go to strip clubs anymore. Well, not as frequent as I used to.
All right.
Listen, we're going to a Jets game. Come to the Jets game. Who do we play this week? I can't even keep track of this.
The Rams.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's talk this through. B-Mac, can you get to MetLife for the game Sunday? You and JJ go into the game together would be great content.
I can try and get there. I mean, I can make it there.
You have a car, right? You're not like Charles who doesn't drive?
Yeah. I got a call, and I live in Mass. I'm not too far away. I mean, I'm like I live like about 5 hours from something like that. I mean, it is like no, like 3 hours, something like that, right? 3
All right,
hours.
so
just put it in Google Maps now. You can just literally put it in Google Maps and find out.
Let's
I can do it.
Let's make this happen, B-Mac. JJ's got a ticket for you. JJ, if you don't actually have a ticket for him, though, I'm sure someone will send me some extras by the time we get to Sunday. But B-Mac, if you can make it, we'll get you in the game.
I have 4 seats. Nobody wants to go to the game anymore. I definitely have a ticket. So when I gave away that, I think it was a Thursday night football game or a Monday night football game a couple of weeks back. You know what I'm talking about, Jake? Remember when I gave away?
The Bills game. Yep.
That was one that kind of hurt because a lot of people wanted to go, but I was like, you know what? I want to do something for the Jake Asman fan base. So that when I gave that one away, that was a hot commodity. Let me tell you right now, I don't even know if I'm going to go. So, but if B-Mac, if you're willing to make the trip down, me and you will go to the game. I'll get you your first beer as your big brother. And we'll have a good time.
Oh yeah. Well, by the way, not to put down, I'm how old are you, JJ?
I'm 37. That's a lie, but let's go with that.
Wow. 37.
Why does his age matter?
Because he wants to say he's my big brother.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, you look good for your age because it doesn't look like you're 37. I thought you was like 23 or 24 or something like that.
Hey, Peter. Let me respond to Peter Castro. Right, Mr. Peter Castro. I'm a huge fan of Peter as well. I think Peter is a great caller when he calls in. Listen, this is just 2 brothers expressing their love for each other. That doesn't mean we're tongue kissing, all right? We haven't seen each other since birth. We were separated at birth, and now, we've reconnected. All right, so stop hating, Peter, all right? I actually enjoy your call.
Hold on. BMAC, I think, said he was 29 on a recent show. Are you older than 29, JJ? I believe you are, but I don't know that for sure.
I'm 28.
Okay, so
30.
BMAC's
30.
30? Okay. So BMAC's the big brother then. We just learned this.
He's my little big brother.
Okay.
Yeah. That works, right? You're my little big brother.
Well, BMAC,
Yeah,
here's what you need me
don't
to do.
matter.
Here's what you have to do. You have to send me your email so I can connect you with JJ because I have JJ's info from the last time we did something like this. So I'll connect you guys. All right.
Okay.
All right. JJ, good job by you.
Thank you, man. And once again, like I said, Allen, number 1 seed, Gary, number 1 seed, Charles Gorman, number 1 seed, BMAC, no offense, you are my brother. You're probably, you might have to get into the play-in tournament, but that's fine. I'm gonna vote for you when it comes to it. All right. See you guys.
The play-in tournament. Wow. All right. I'll tell you what, BMAC, that's very nice by JJ. All right. That's a big time offer. We got to get you to MetLife now, BMAC. All right. If you drive in the morning, it won't be that bad with traffic. All right.
Yeah, I got a UPS, so I can easily, track down. But I do want to say,
wait.
What
do you mean UPS?
I want to pay my respects and GPS.
GPS. Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Listen, buddy. Listen, pig mouth. Shut up. You got a dirty mouth.
This is a prank.
You got a dirty mouth.
This is a prank. This is
Hey,
a prank.
Keep your mouth shut.
This
Number
is a
one,
prank.
when you call people old, this is what you get. Understand? You're an idiot. You don't know anything about football. You never did. You have no perspective. Your boy failed. What happened? Your boy failed like you, a total failure. A bust. You're a bust. You're a bust. You're a bust. You have nothing. Zero. Mr. Zero. Mr. Zero. There he is. In the flesh. Mr. Zero. That's you.
There is no one more cringeworthy than BMAC.
That's fake.
Hey, BMAC, whenever you want to go one-on-one, I will tear you apart, buddy. I don't care how tall you are. You are the dumbest human being on the planet. You said you will go to jail? BMAC, I will rip you apart.
Get that cap on.
I
Go to work.
I will
working?
rip you
Go to work?
piece by piece.
Put that hat on.
Now that was intense, man. Briga calling in to go at BMAC. Tough. Now, BMAC, I am running a new contest. I don't know if you saw the first show today. The winner who figures out whatever the heck is on your hat will get an item from the merch store. No one seems to know. No one seems to know. JV with a great super chat. I got to wind down the show, folks. I got somewhere to be at 7, so we're nearing the end here. Add this donation, please, as well. Also, Aaron is coming back. JV, very nice of you. And look, I don't think it's crazy that Aaron's coming back. I've said it the whole time. Remember a couple weeks ago with the report, there's no way he's back. How would you know that when they don't have a coach, a GM, and at the time there were still 6 games to go? And now he's played well 2 weeks in a row. You don't know. Luppy says, add this for Keith as well. Luppy, you're the man. Very kind of you. All right. I might regret this decision, but Alan's next. Hello, Alan.
First and foremost, I want to thank JJ for such kind words. I don't think I'm a top seed. I think I'm in the tournament. I'm fine. I will upset some people, but I don't think I'm a top seed. Okay. I know
really
I'm better.
I really hope that you're a first round upset. That'd be tremendous.
I might be. All I have to say to you is I know you and Rob the Jet fan are good friends. I get it. But the idea that you allowed him to get back on the air after he compared Aaron Rodgers to Josh Allen the other night might be the dumbest take I think I've heard all year. That might be one of the dumbest.
I mean, I
And-
immediately pushed back on it.
But
It's not
no,
like
no,
I
no.
said,
You
"Great
have
point,
to.
Rob."
No, that is Shadow Realm for about a month. Okay, that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And Rob has said really dumb things. And also, kudos to another person, Jay Graves, for knocking out that rich bastard Neil.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Rob, that might have been the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Rob, don't ever put them in the same sentence.
Wait a minute.
Don't
Wait a minute.
ever. Rob,
Wait
it was the
a minute.
stupidest thing
Let me
I've
say.
ever heard in my
Hold on,
life.
I'll listen to you. Just let me say what I'm going to say. Listen to the tape over.
I heard the tape, but
not
you put
half
them
the
in the
player-
same sentence.
I said, oh, come on. I said
You
he's
did.
not
You
half the
did.
player that Allen
Okay.
is.
But then you compared the 25 touchdowns to 23 touchdowns.
all I said.
Okay, please,
That's all I said.
don't ever put them in the same category right now. Enough.
Yeah,
Josh
right now.
Allen is a
Right now.
superstar.
Have a lifetime.
Aaron Rodgers.
Have a
I'm not
lifetime.
talking about lifetime. I'm talking about right now. Aaron Rodgers isn't in the same equation as Aaron Rodgers, as Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a superstar. Aaron Rodgers right now is stealing money, okay? And I don't want him back because I know what's going to happen next year. When he stinks up the joint next year and people like you and that dope Neil and that moron Bonesy, they're going to make every excuse in the book.
I don't want to see
I
Sam
know they're going to
Howell.
do it.
Nobody
I don't
wants to
care.
see Sam
I don't
Howell.
want I don't
Nobody
want
wants to see
Aaron
Sam
Rodgers back
Howell.
next year. It's
Okay, but
over.
we don't want
It's
to see
over.
Sam Howell.
I want new blood. Okay, I don't care. New blood.
When we
I don't
suck,
want
you-
to
I
sacrifice
want you to call in.
2026.
You better call in when they suck. You better.
I will call him. Yeah, again, I like teams that are taking chances. I don't want Aaron Rodgers back. That's it. But the idea that you actually compared one to another might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Rob, you've made a lot of stupid comments, but that, my friend, might have been the worst. Don't ever put Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers in the same equation, please, Rob. You're lucky. You're lucky. Jake loves you. Jake should have sent you to the realm for about a year for that stupid comment. Ridiculous.
I mean,
And
don't-
rest in peace, Keith. God bless you. I know you took shots at me, but you're in a better place right now, okay?
Yeah,
But
poor
again,
guy.
Jake, I am not a top seed. I will upset people in the tournament. I am not a top seed. I would like to go against this bum or even that moron was on the screen
moron.
before. B-Mac, moron, okay?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You can't make it up. I mean, oh my God. Allen's not a 1 seed, JJ, but he is entertaining at times. I will not deny that. Fialkow with a $20 spot. Allen, I can't take you seriously with the Cox hat. This is for Keith. Jake, love you. Andrew, you're the man. You're the man. I will add it. For everyone out there, though, who wants to make a donation in Keith's name, St. Jude's. That way YouTube doesn't get any cut of it. It goes right to the children. Right? You know, but I will everyone who said a super chat specifically for Keith, I'll make sure once YouTube takes their cut, the rest goes to the donation I'm making. Oscar says Allen took the W. I mean, that was just a wild sequence. Johnny says, Jake, get your ass back to New York. Houston's third rate and better. Hey, Johnny, I've been back in New York since April. But I appreciate it because you haven't watched the show in a while. But I love Houston. Houston's a great town. And I miss what I paid in rent there. I'll tell you that much. All right, one last call here. Kyle closes out. What do you got for us?
Has there ever been a least controversial take that Allen is going to upset people? So
That's a good point.
I was thinking about what Florida Ted was saying, and I kind of like the defensive coordinator there in Detroit. Obviously, I can't remember his name right now. I'm freezing up, and I shouldn't because he's a Jet. Because I think that he is not going to let people walk all over him. Obviously, Vrabel would be the top
Are you
choice.
talking about Aaron Glenn?
Aaron Glenn, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I think Vrabel's the top choice, but I think we need kind of an ass kicker. The penalties have been what has killed us the last few years. If we start to reduce those and we can move past them, and we get a decent scheme in here, yeah, I would look at maybe bringing Aaron back under the right circumstances. Yeah, I would maybe look at bringing Devontae back under the right circumstances. How do we know that? This is the first I'd seen today of the tape from Saturday. Really, when I was watching Fialkow earlier, there were some pretty impressive throws in there from Aaron. Like the individual throws themselves were pro throws. Now, the completion percentage, not great, whatever. Some of those stats are going to vary from game to game. But, you have to look at what your other choices are going to be. You have to look at, other factors with the money and, whether the coach and GM are going to be comfortable before we can kind of move forward with that decision. Whoever it's going to be is going to have to instill discipline into this team. I don't know Ben Johnson from a hole in the wall. Is he going to be able to do that? We have a feeling that Vrabel and Flores might be able to. I have a feeling that Glenn might be able to. But then I understand people too. They want an OC like a Joe Brady that might bring a dimension to us that we haven't had in the past. It's going to be fascinating down the stretch here. But I don't think that the reasons that Ted gave for wanting Aaron Glenn, like the culture, he understands the culture here. We don't have a culture here. The culture here is terrible. The leaks are it's a leaky ship. We know that from the media. We need someone who's going to install a culture here, and we need someone who is going to right the ship. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
about it.
I agree. Look, Aaron Glenn having ties to the Jets is cool. That's not why I'd hire him, though. I'd hire him because he's qualified for the job. And okay, he played for the Jets, so he understands the history of the organization. Great. That doesn't mean he knows the culture of this team right now. Or you know what I mean? I completely agree with that. Now, Jersey Jet goes, Jake's real biased with the pickups. As I tried to message you privately, Jersey Jet, I guess you didn't see it. I went to you earlier in the show. You had music blasting in the background, which is a no-go on a show. There's copyright issues. So when you call back, don't have blasting. I think it was like a Rihanna song or something. All right, go ask Green Bean what happened when he accidentally played a Beatles song on his channel. So that's why I couldn't go to you. So please turn your music down, and I'd love to have you on, Jersey Jet. It's not like I'm not trying to go to your call. I thought you saw my message. JJ writes in, Dave Brigga, I want you to come to the game with us. Dave, if you get to MetLife, you could beat B-Mac's ass in person. How about that? One punch, Brigga. Tyrone at the buzzer here. My prayers for Keith's family. I lost a brother to cancer also in 2002. We all know someone affected by cancer. So it's just, very sad news. If you missed it at the beginning of the show, go back and watch. Very, very sorry to hear about your loss, though, Tyrone. Thanks for the super chat, as always. Dave did right. JJ, I appreciate your offer. I had to keep my temper under control. Oh, by halftime, there's going to be a brawl. Look at JJ trying to broker peace, though, as Tom Ace writes. Tremendous. All right, great show. We'll be back tomorrow. Morning stream, and then Parles in the usual spot in the afternoon. Once again, thoughts to Keith Best, his friends, family. Obviously, just devastating news for one of our favorites, and it's just horrible. But thank you to everyone who supports the show, and I've been asking about Keith and continues to use that emoji proudly. So, Keith, this is for you, buddy. When the Jets win that second Super Bowl, we know you'll be watching down below. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Rest in peace to Keith Best.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.